Hi, welcome to my channel. Antoinette here. I want to finish up my hashtag spooky season tags with a 2-for-1. So this is a VR2, name has just flown straight out of my head, Rumour at Rumour Haven, and they did the Seance Circle spread, and then that got taken up a notch by Sharon at Trio of Witches, who turned it into a Ancestor reading. So I want to do the two together combined. So using the decks inspired by Rumour Haven for the Seance Circle spread and turning it into the Ancestral reading to see if it works for me using those decks. So I haven't gone specifically for decks that make the reading that Sharon at Trio of Witches suggested. Now, just FYI, I'm trying out my stick-on nails for tomorrow. So it's only on one hand, and my skeleton jewellery, just to see how I get on. So I figured this would be a perfect opportunity for me to see if this is going to drive me bonkers or not. But I may lose nails partway through. So just want to let you know. But I got those creature claw stick-ons, and I went with ones that fit my smallest fingernail because it said to size down, but they don't fit the rest of my nails because apparently my nails are funny sizes. So I don't know that these are worth the money that I've paid for them at this point in time, because I'm pretty sure they're all just going to flick off. So we shall see, because they don't fit to the nails, in case anyone was wondering about these things. But they were so cool. I just wanted to pop them on and, you know, hand them out for the trick-or-treaters tomorrow. Just that like little weird something for them, but you've got it instead. So because this is a Seance Circle spread and an Ancestral reading, I've popped a Spirit Throne card in the middle, just so we know where my significator for this reading goes. And I also have my trusty iPad close to hand. So let me just prop that so I can, you know, see and read, because as you all know, my eyesight's getting absolutely shocking these days. And the first card out, so the first prompt is a spirit photography photo deck. Now this can be any deck, and Sharon did this with a deck where she split it into court cards and majors. So you pull a court card as your significator, and then you pull a major to talk about the court card's traits if you want, or to give more information on who that person is, and lots of books and resources on how to do that. But I've chosen to do this using the Beloved Dead Oracle by Carrie Paris, because it is a photographic deck, it's an oracle deck, and it's got people in it. So I'm not going to bother to split this out into different people, but I just thought we could see which ancestral person might be wanting to bring forth a message for this. Oh, we got two. So we've got some Evermore. So I'm going to pop them there just so we know who it is. So I don't need any more cards than that. To me, that already feels like it's a set of grandparents. Should we just have a quick look in the book? I'm all out of sorts today. Been on call for a couple of days and it's not been easy. Right then. Quoth the newlyweds evermore. Oh, I love that. It's like Poe. Perfect for this time of year. When this card is representing a loved one, individual, or event, it's raising the significance of the context of a marriage, official coupling, partnership, proposal, betrothal, or an actual wedding or honeymoon. It is the energy of happy ever afters, and it signifies love and hope that spring eternal. This is a message from a loved one that even though they can't be there for you physically, their support and love for you is enduring and stand beside you, behind you. They are souls entwined evermore. Merry meet, merry part, merry meet again. So if you're in a relationship, this could be a loved one that is nearby and wants you to know if that's a comfort to you. If, like me, your loved one might be your spirit guide and that might be a grandparent, then to me that significates that. And I did wonder actually if I was going to get a grandparent today. Let me just read down through here. So, in practical magic, the young Sally Owens performs a love spell called Amos Veritas, where they petitions for the universe for a partner with qualities that she's sure can't exist, and if she doesn't exist, will never die of a broken heart, Once she moves past an ancestral agenda that equates love with pain, he arrives. That state investigator. Do you remember that in Practical Magic with his sheriff badge? And then he flips pancakes, go figure. So it's a happy card, right? So we've got hopefully a good start. Prompt number 2. So the deck is a personal item, a deck of objects. Or I should say, actually, the prompts have been moved up and down. So these aren't in Rumour Haven's original 1 to 10. They've been shuffled around, but I'm using the prompt, the description of what she had, and then I'm using Sharon's description for what we're having. All right. So personal item, a deck of objects, to summon or invite spirits. So a deck of objects. Mildred Payne. This is probably a really bad idea doing all this with all this on my hands. I should have opened all the decks before I was silly enough to decorate myself. Right. How do people live like this? Oh my word. Ugh, you all knew that was coming, ladies. Oh, come on. No, I don't want them in my life. I appreciate them outside, not in my home, not in my dreams, not in my face. Damn it. I knew that was going to happen. Actually, should I just tell you what all the cards are before I even get the decks out and flip? Okay, so needless to say, I'm never using that to summon or invite. Okay, you might. That's good for you. Webs, perhaps. All right. Invocation, spirit, a guide deck, a card to invite spirit to talk to us. So I thought we'd go with a black enchantment. I don't think there's anything surprising in this one that can do that to me. So we'll just see what card we get from here. Sorry, I can't help but chuckle at that. Oh, my cards, honestly. I'm guessing they've got a sense of humour. Grandad, I'd rather have had the bumblebee. And we have the castle. Let's pop that one there. Got to pop them back in their boxes, otherwise I'm going to end up with stuff all over the place here. And yeah. Right then. Can't do it up. Just stop there. Next, Poltergeist, a trickster or a cheeky deck. How does spirit show up? What signs do we need to look for? Oh. Right. I mean, in a way, that's sort of, but yeah, that's not. So, how does spirit show up? So we're using the Deviant Moon for this one, because it's one of my cheekiest decks. King of Cups. Normally King of Swords, you know. We'll take King of Cups. That one. Next one. 5. Collective hallucination, a FOMO or dreamy deck. How does spirit show up in dreams or visions? So I pulled out the Lilith because that was a FOMO deck for me, and I believe it is out of print now anyway, so I'm glad in many aspects. But also I do feel that the cards in this are slightly ethereal and could well indicate dreams because of the way that this has been created. So, oops, we can only take one, so we'll take the first one that came out. That's the moon in the shadows in my dreams. And yeah, I think I do certain times of the year around the moon, so not every moon, but at certain times of the year around the moon I do get more strange shadow aspects in my dreams, I suppose is what I'd call it. So that could well be the timing for dreams. And again, if that's the same for you, as me saying I'm going to do it as a collective, I'm kind of really, because of how it's come out, it does feel personal. Okay, so a crystal ball, a round deck. So focus of a message today. So I've got 2 decks. I don't know whether to do an oracle or an oracle. I think we're going to do this one just because of the time of year. Because I know I'm just going to get a spider web out the other deck, and there's no spiders in this one. So this is my brown deck. Let's take a look. How does spirit show up in dreams? Is that right? No, focus on the message for today. Oops. It's my nails. I'll take the top one. Generates luxurious surroundings and experiences. Should I put that there? Take a little reading guidebook for that one. Card 28. There we go. So hopefully you can see that possibly. The little luxury symbol is designed to capture the sunshine glinting through the diamonds. Diamonds have been synonymous with luxury and opulence since 1870s, when they first began being mined and sold on a large commercial scale. I'm not interested in that. Divination. Working with the symbol may bring up feelings of lack or unworthiness and undeserving. It's important to explore these feelings. Why don't you deserve luxury? Do you feel guilty? Okay, yeah, that's speaking to me. So I've been presenting a lot of work that I've been doing for a couple of years, and I now have to go and present again to like the heads of everything, and I wasn't ever expecting that to happen, and I don't feel like I have the experience, the knowledge and the right wording to go there. So I am belittling myself. So that does feel like a personal message to me. But let's just see what the Yoni deck says, shall we? Because in for a penny, in for a pound. This one can be brutal, especially when it's paired with the Tantric Dakini. Okay. Where did I put that other card? I just shuffled it into my deck. I bet I have. There it is. Oh, okay. You know why I threw it at you, because it popped out. Oh, it's down there. That's right. I put the other card in the bottom of the deck so it doesn't come out. It's in the bottom of the box. This one I think might be a bit more collective based, so let's see what we get. Card 52. The sparkling essence, so the alchemist, the archetype, light worker, the authentic star power, being unstoppable, the missionary of light, so taking your messages, spreading it around is how I'm seeing that. The shadow aspects here are hiding, playing small, exactly, there we go. It's just reiterating the other message, to be quite honest with you, isn't it? I am the one who is revolutionary, ballsy and unstoppable. I am cosmic fireball exploding into this world with vision, power and transformation alchemy at my fingertips. I burn bright as a great healing for all. I'm blooming into my full radiance and authentic star power now. I overcome obstacles and I dare to live. So there's lots of really good message in that card for the crystal ball. And sorry, I didn't actually show the name, did I? So this one is the Sacred Revolution Oracle by Lainey Love Dolby. That's an indie deck, but it's definitely worth it, I think. So there's our crystal ball. We have the channeling, a deck that feels channeled or inspired. I'm going to go with the Ghosts and Spirits Tarot by Lisa Hunt for this. It's inspired, is what I would say. And let's have a little look. So the beginning of the message from Spirit, please. What is the beginning of the message from Spirit here? Justice. Let's have a little look in the guidebook for this one. This one is worth reading. Justice, yes it is. So the Japanese snow ghost is who we have in the card. Swirls around Her icy touch could spell death for the fatigued travellers. Holding 2 spheres, denoting balance, Snow Ghost emerges from the unconscious of the forms of one's consciousness. Her light of virtue and mellifluous flow. Oh, what a lovely word. Her mellifluous flow of drapery contrasts with the misdeeds that often originate from a repressed shadow. So bad karma will follow a bad conscience and rear its ugly head when you least expect it. Always bear in mind that your actions have a rippling effect. Be just and fair, and think about the impact of your decision and what it will make on others. So, karmic reaction. Next, the candle, a shadow work deck. A card to clarify message number 7. So a card to clarify message number 7, but my shadow work deck is the Hush Tarot. I will want the book for this as well. So, tell me about justice. What do I need to know about justice from this reading? What do I need to know about justice from this reading? That way? Yes, it is, isn't it? Oh, 3 of arrows. You know what that means. Someone's done something naughty. Isn't it arrows, it's swords. Grief and loss. The urge to look over one's shoulder is a sign of mistrust. Difficult times are ahead. This card may be warning about the stab in the back. The loss of love. The hornet is a sign of sexuality and fertility. It's honeycomb, a hexagon in the symbol of the heart. Guard it closely. Life. That is 3 of swords, isn't it? Sorry, I'm just doubting myself. I'm not sure it's 3 of swords or 3 of wands. It's a funny little symbol up there that I can't, because they're not shown in the book. I'm beginning to think it's meant to be a wands, because it's not feeling the message, like, I just don't want to read the rest of the message, basically. So I'm getting a strong urge not to read the rest of the message, which means that it's probably not the right one. Yeah, this is it, 'cause it's got crows in it. It's 3 of wands. Upright, preparation and enterprise. Your aspirations are being put into work. Your careful planning has woven your ideas into progress. There we go. There's our weave. The crow is dark, mysterious. Some see them as good, some see them as bad. They're said to have great insight together. They work to survive. They represent the culmination of work and all the good and bad experiences that have provided lessons along the way. Reversed would be obstacles and delays. Some of your ideas need to be more fully thought out. Disorganisation and failure to acknowledge problems in the past can cause chaos, right? So that actually does make more sense with the justice, I think. What do you think? Never be scared to double check what you're reading. If it's not feeling right, it's okay to stop. So number 9, materialization, a haunting supernatural deck. Further clarification on how to use or action the message from cards 7 and 8. So we need to know how to action this message here. Can you see all of that on screen? I don't know how on screen I am. We are still there, aren't we? Yes, we're just right. So we're here now. Okay. So the closing, the materialization haunting, a supernatural deck. Materialization, haunting or supernatural deck. Haunting or supernatural deck. I didn't pull one, but what I did pull for clarification is the Sassy Dragons. Because what better deck to clarify a message? So let's clarify this message, please, from the Evermore loved one in the middle. What message is it that Evermore is giving us here? The Hierophant. Oh, don't get tied up in red tape unless you're into that. Following sound advice doesn't have to mean following every rule. Okay, so don't get bound up in the red tape unless you're a bit kinky, but it's okay to not follow all the advice sometimes. So that actually does make a lot of sense, doesn't it, with what we've read so far, providing, of course, you've listened to what's been read. And then the final message is the closing or cleansing, an uplifting or a healing deck, a card to close the reading and say thank you and goodbye. So I've gone with the Sweet Dreams Oracle from Rockpool. This is one of those lovely little decks. I actually really am enjoying these. I could just happily have a shelf of these and get rid of a lot of my other oracles, I've decided. That's something you don't hear from me every day. So thank you and goodbye. What is the closing message here? How can I bless this reading? So thank you and goodbye for coming and giving us your message. So thank you and goodbye for coming and giving us your message. I'm going to take this one. Acceptance. I overcome my biggest challenges by accepting what is. Right. Let's piecemeal this together if we can into a slightly more cohesive reading without breaking it up too much. So our significator is a loved one. So for me, this feels like this is my grandfather. For you, I'm not sure. So if you're single, that this may be a loved one of your past. This could be, for some, this could also be, a previous life loved one, like your, what do you call it, your reincarnation partner. I'm not really into twin flames much, so I don't like using the word twin flame, but this could be a past loved one, somebody who's been very significant in your life in the past. Doesn't have to actually be in this lifetime if you're somebody who understands or likes to traverse different lifetimes and see what's going on. So this person, depending on who you are listening to this reading at this time, will depend on who you feel this is. For me, this is my grandparent, so this is a grandparent energy to me right now. The personal item, oh dear, the personal item, so the summon or invite to spirit. So here we go. So to bring in the web of the weird, we have the item that creates the web. The invocation, so the card to invite spirit to talk to us. We have the castle, so inviting them into our home to speak to us, but not to stay. So to speak to us for the reading and then to leave at the end when we close. So we've invited them into our safe holding. So we have, we have the moat, the fortress around us. So that's into our, what we would call, safe space to give us the message today, and only for the period for which they are invited, not to stay. So how are they showing up? So they are showing up as an elder, somebody who has a lot of love to give. So they match off each other. So it's somebody who has a lot of love, somebody who is very respected, somebody fun and cheeky, I would say here. Somebody who liked to tell jokes, liked to play pranks maybe even, but was always good at listening and never dismissed your emotions. But maybe they were slightly more less giving with their emotions. So perhaps they weren't as an emotional person, but they were very, trusting. Like you would go to them, you felt supported under their umbrella, you felt protected underneath them, or in their presence. So they gave you all those nurturing, protective vibes. So again, for me, that comes back to that feeling of a grandfather energy for me. The collective hallucination. So the dreamy deck, how does spirit show up in dreams or visions? So the moon. And again, now for this one, I don't dream of my grandparents in dreams. I don't really see them in my dreams, but I do have dreams with messages in them, and I know I do because sometimes they are images that are given to me. Sometimes it's actual card images. Sometimes it can be a number of decks thrown down for me to read the image, but let's be honest, I'm asleep and I can never remember them when I wake up. Occasionally I have the number of the card in my head or the name of a card in my head, but it's very rare I can remember the full dream. Even when I set the intention to, it doesn't happen because I don't think I'm supposed to bring it into my actual physical realm yet. So I think it's usually more warnings for me rather than something that I have to be doing. Right, so that's that one. So we have our crystal ball decks, the focus of the message of today from the spirit or the loved one that's shown up today. And this is about not playing small, okay? So luxuries in one aspect, so treating yourself, but also not playing too small. So you could be luxurious in the fact that you want to have something, but you don't think you can because you feel like you can't treat yourself. So for me, this feels like it's a reminder that you are allowed to treat yourself to a few little luxuries occasionally. We're not talking about bankrupting yourself. We're just talking about, you know, something small that isn't overly expensive that's going to cause you to, you know, put yourself in debt or not be able to feed yourself or pay the bills at the end of the month, but something that maybe you've been saving towards and you've been umming and ahhing over, and actually it's a little reminder to why don't you. And the same with the card number 52, allowing you to burst through, shine through and be seen, allowing that star energy of yours to come through as well and not be playing too small again, letting people know that you are worth it too. It's not always about them. Sometimes it can be about you, but you know, within reason, so not being too selfish, which brings us over to the Justice card. So the channeling, the deck, beginning of the message from Spirit, so the Justice card, so the reminder of karmic decisions, karmic influence, karmic outcomes. Balance is always key in most things that we do in life, and this person for me was always quite balanced, it felt. So the reminder of the balance is here. Now, just for some background information, this person passed away in February. I believe they've passed away under Aquarius season. So Aquarius has the water bearer, but I also feel like there's that with the air signs, the balance as well that comes with the justice and the scales. And I've always felt Aquarius to be that way inclined, the justice person. They were also a scientist. So again, with the water bearer, the water sign here kind of pulls them all the way through. I always think of Aquarius as a more water-esque card, but they're not, are they? They are a swords card at the end of the day. But I always do think of them more along the lines of water. I think it's all down to that water bearer energy. So the justice, just to me, it just fits very well. I'm glad I fixed this. So the extra bit to this message is that Three of Wands, and we took that from the shadow reading of the deck. But of course, Three of Wands is also, when it's not in shadow form, it is about looking forwards. It is about where you go next with what you're doing. It's how you progress. It's sometimes to do with collaboration. It can also be about the creativity that's needed in order to create what you want to create. It's definitely creating, but again, not getting yourself too caught up in what you do and bound by what you want to do, allowing yourself the space to become and to explore. So because you do need to, you know, expand up through your numbers for numerology as well. So it's there. And then our our clarifying card, the Hierophant. Don't get tied up in red tape. So there is the teaching in there as well, isn't there? But it's okay. So you can follow the advice that's coming in. So if this is related to something that you want to do, so if you want to spend, it's something you want for yourself, being balanced about what it is, as I spoke over here, and balancing and weighing up what it is that you want to do, it's okay to go ahead and buy things. So if you're wanting to travel, you can do that, but there's a way of doing it in a way that it costs better for you, and you don't always have to do it by the book. So if this is about travel for you, then you don't have to do it by the book. You don't have to do it with everything that's purchased. You can actually create what you need to do and achieve it perhaps in a slightly better format without having to cut back too much, and maybe even a better experience all round because it's from you. For me in the workplace, this is telling me to know what it is I'm talking about, to understand what the language is and what the outcomes of that language is, because I don't know if anyone else is aware, but different workplaces have different jargon dictionaries that they use, and not all words mean the same, especially when it comes to law. Actually, so that's a good one to explore for that. So if you read something from law, it is absolute gobbledygook, and a word I might use doesn't mean what I think it, you know, in everyday language, doesn't mean that in the law dictionary. And they can catch you out with silly things like that. So it does feel like I do need to be on top of my dictionary and what I'm talking about, not to get myself too caught up about it, however, not to worry, not to, you know, lose sleepless nights, but to use what's around me to get there. And it's okay that I am not what I think that they need from me. And then, of course, that one is just bringing home that message. And then our closing and clearing. So the acceptance. I overcome my biggest challenges by accepting what is. I think that is perfect, actually, for the reading that we've got here from the ancestor that very kindly came to speak to us today. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to end the video here. So if you want to do this, please remember to, I will put the videos all down below, one to Rumour Haven, one to Trio of Witches, so you can go and see what's going on. The prompts will be in below as well. The capitals is to show Rumour Haven. The normal lowercase next to the capitals is Sharon's way that she's done this. But I do recommend you go and check out both videos. They are great fun. And you may choose to not do it this way, you may choose to do it the original way. And again, either way, it's all good fun. But if you've watched this one and I've inspired you to have a go and do this, please also use the hashtag to go with it, hashtag spookyseasontags, and then I can pop you in my community playlist, because I'm trying to gather people in there, and then hopefully next year I can go there and look for lots of people's tags to do for next Halloween season. So I am thanking you all for following along with me. This is it. This is my wrap up. This is my 13th video for that. There are a couple of other tags that I want to do, but I will do those just over time, November and December. I'm not going to challenge myself to 13 in 1 month, because let's face it, that was a little bit overachieving for me. So yeah, thank you for being here. Have a spooky Halloween, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye bye.